Since the creation of the new Scottish Parliament, more than 300 people have been elected to serve as MSPs, but with the exception of just 4 politicians, they've all been white. So,
with his mind, you will see it quickly change into a beautiful, exciting world of fantasy. We explored the large world around us, and we found a million noisy, moving, colourful objects. And if you step into his world with his mind, you will see it quickly change into a beautiful, exciting world of fantasy.
They were taken aback even by the mention on my social media that 99% of the meetings I go to, I'm the only non-white person in the room. But why are we so surprised when the most senior positions in Scotland are filled almost exclusively by those who are white? Take my portfolio alone. The Lord President, white. The Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every High Court judge, white. The Lord Advocate, white. The Solicitor General, white.
Is it because we don't have the talent? Is it because we don't have the ability? Or is it because that the opportunity doesn't exist? In the entire history of Scotland, we have only elected 3 BME MPs to Westminster, 2 from one family. In this Parliament in 20 years, we've only ever elected 4 BME representatives, all 4 from Glasgow, all from a Pakistani background, of every council and every government, every department in Scotland, white. Every principal of a college or university in Scotland, white. Every head teacher in Scotland, white. Every chair of a public sector body in Scotland, white. Every High Court judge in Scotland, white. Every prison governor in Scotland, white. Every editor of a news organisation in Scotland, white.
The head of the Law Society, white. The head of the Faculty of Advocates, white. Every prison governor, white. And not just justice. The Chief Medical Officer, white. The Chief Nursing Officer, white. The Chief Veterinary Officer, white. The Chief Social Work Advisor, white. Almost every trade union in this country headed by people who are white. In the Scottish Government, every Director General is white. Every chair of every public body is white. That is not good enough.
An independent Scotland, just as Scotland is now, will be a beacon for progressive values, equality, opportunity, diversity and fairness.
There's discussion about it. This applies obviously across all discriminations. But I wanted to sort of really finish my remarks by saying this, my own experience, I suppose. I'm very confident that the future of Scotland will be a very non-racial and anti-racist country, because we are grappling with rejecting an imperialist British viewpoint of what a nation is and what it can be. We're rejecting an ethnocentric definition of what that nation is. We're setting an example of civic nationalism and inclusion, which means that we have a national identity which is going to be different. It's not going to be what it is now. We're preparing a future where people can define a Scots person non-racially.
I am absolutely passionate in my belief that Scotland is a place where people should feel safe and secure and welcome, regardless of where they come from. If you choose to live in Scotland, then as far as I'm concerned, you're Scottish. Whether you were born here and 3 generations of your family were born here, or whether you've only lived here for a few months, if this is your home, it should feel like your home. And